great. And it got, like, I made sure that it was, like, all over the place. Like, it wasn't easy to pick up. And then he returned the favor by scooping most of it up and putting it in my car while I was on set. Also in a fairly unorganized fashion. With a little note that said, "Here's a donation to Random Acts." And still, actually, I no longer have that car, but whoever does have that car, if you brake suddenly, you hear a shh. It's a sloshing of change that is somewhere. I could never find it. But it's somewhere in there. There's change sloshing around when you accelerate a brake. Hi.
All right, so hypothetically, to keep the show fresh, the showrunners decide to give it a new look, and they let you redo the wardrobe, hair, and makeup of yourself, Jensen, and Jared. What do you do?
Choo-choos? So an answer, well, there was only 5 letters long. That's pretty good. Hi.
Hi. So first of all, I just want to say that you're amazing and I love you. And then my question is there any particular scene or episode that you would like to take place in the future of Supernatural that hasn't occurred yet, or any interaction between the two characters that you would like to see?
I would be. I think I know what that person said. I feel like we have been carefully avoiding a topic that everybody feels is imminent in the show and that should just finally happen, which is aliens. So I'd like to see bona fide Martians and how the boys deal with that. Thank you.
First of all, greetings from Peru. All the fans, we love you over there.
Amazing. Where are you living here, or are you visiting from Peru?
In Arkansas for 8 years, but I'm from there.
Awesome. Well, we would love to go to Peru sometime.
That would be cool. Yeah, we love you over there. My question is, when you're outside, normal Misha, you like to hide yourself? Or you like to...
I love that when you say normal Misha, everybody bursts into laughter. What's so hard to imagine about normal Misha? You've seen my live streams? I did a very normal live stream earlier today.
Outside, or do you like to use hats?
No, I don't like to be myself outside. Normally I'm dressed in character, costume. I'm doing cosplay, typically, in an outside situation. What do I do outside? What are you getting at? Are you asking if I'm a public nudist or what? Where is this question going? No. So what is it? You're asking me to paint a picture of a typical Misha nature scene? Typical day?
Yeah.
Well, you mean not on set? Somewhere outside, possibly just wearing a fig leaf or something. Well, I must confess that I have recently become obsessed with a sort of homesteading mentality. So we have chickens, which are nothing but, as you know, vectors of disease, and we have a pear tree, an apple tree, and 2 peach trees, and an Asian pear tree, and blackberry bushes. And so I spend all of my time harvesting slightly overripe fruit and trying to can it into something edible, or trying to dehydrate it. I made a hideous concoction of sort of fruit leather energy bars the other day that not even the chickens would eat. It's a true story. I had to like take it back out of the chicken coop because they were like, "That, I'm sorry, I'll eat pretty much any of the rancid shit you throw in here, but that so I've been doing some canning. I just had a moment of thinking, uh-oh, I hope they turned off the dehydrator, because I was making pear chips when I left, and I forgot to tell anybody that I had left that on. What's that? Live stream dehydrating? You have a nose for drama. I enjoy walks on the beach also. I go for runs. I like to run. And that sort of thing. Never has a question at a panel felt so much like an awkward first date. Do you have many brothers or sisters? You do? Is he older or younger? What were your favorite items this year, or did you have it?
I was a really big fan of the pineapple shoes, and I had a lot of fun making a bikini out of corn husks too. So.
Okay, good. A lot of those corn husk images were pretty great this year. There were some great photos of the I can't remember the phrasing, but it was like your depiction of 21st century identity.
Oh yeah, that's what you did.
What is it?
The penalty?
It's not quite right, but I have no memory, so. I always like the ones that are related to space and things like that. Over the years, so for those of you who don't know, Gish it's like the closest thing that we can call it is a scavenger hunt, but it's not really a scavenger hunt because you have to more like do or make things rather than just find things. And it's probably a little bit more on the absurd end of the spectrum and maybe on the more challenging end of the spectrum than a lot of scavenger hunts. Yeah, I like the NASA, the space-related ones. We did get an official admonishment from SpaceX asking us to stop, to remove mention of our company from your list because it's ruining SpaceX, which I felt bad about. I know that they secretly wanted to participate. They just needed a few more people to ask them, so I left it on there. Yeah, we got, I think it was Georgia Pacific Railroad, like the senior VP of, people doing bad things that they shouldn't at the railways, sent a very sternly worded letter to us. Do omit this item of the person dressed in Victorian garb on the back of a flatbed train car. That is completely illegal for people to get on the trains, and it's dangerous, and blah, 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 boring. Delete. Because I was thought, there's plenty of ways people can legally get onto a train car and take a photo and not endanger themselves. But I have subsequently talked to a lot of people who are like, yeah, we were taking that picture, and then the police came. Oh, really? Wonder who put that stupid item in there. This year, though, as far as I know, no one was arrested or hospitalized as a direct result of Gish's activities, which I think is awesome and also a first.
Really?
Yeah.
Yo.
Hi.
Hi. I was wondering, since Castiel's been everything from Castlefur to the Pizza Man, what would you do if you had one day, open script, whatever you want, or would you be interested in doing a French Mistake Part 2?
French Mistake Part 2. Well, wait, hold on. Are you saying if this was a real experience or if this were something we were shooting?
Shooting, and would you still be the handsome kind man? Or would you change something?
Oh, I would change the French Mistake, probably. Yeah. It'd be great if, for example, the Misha character weren't screaming and getting killed. I'm just spitballing here. If I could actually live a real world experience of any of the Cass iterations, I would say that future Cass would be my choice.
I was just wondering if there's ever a point where you're reading scripts and you just think to yourself, this is gonna suck to film.
Yes. I mean, to be honest with you, I kind of had that thought when I saw that I was possessed by Lucifer for the first time. I was like, oh shit, this is going to be really hard. Because Mark Pellegrino did such an amazing job with that, and I thought, I don't know if I can follow in his footsteps. That's going to be really challenging. Why have they set me up for failure like this? Why do they hate me so much?
Yesterday, when Brianna was up here talking, she turned everyone on the banner into Disney princesses except you, Matt.
Wait. Who was doing what? I lost the thread.
Okay. When Brianna was up on her panel yesterday,
Yep.
she turned everyone on the banner into Disney princesses except you, Jensen, Jared, and Matt. So I was wondering who you thought you guys would be.
They don't look like Disney princesses to me. Oh, I see. She created is it because she just ran out of Disney princesses? She started at the bottom, and then when she got up there, she ran out?
At the time.
Okay, so what Disney princess are those guys?
You, Matt, Jared, and Jensen.
Okay, well, Jared is Rapunzel. Jensen is Snow White. What? That's taken? That's terrible casting. What other Disney princess? Princess Leia! That was good. Whoever pulled that one out was smart. Because, as you know, Disney now owns the Enterprise, the whole. I didn't mean Enterprise. so Princess Leia is Jensen.
Yeah.
Butzel, which we're calling a Disney property, and then I am Elsa. I'm Elsa, and Matt is Princess Abdominus. Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. I wanted to ask you what you want to be when you grow up.
Okay. Thank you. I recently asked my children what they wanted to be when they grew up. This was literally last night. And it occurred to me because I'm looking at my son and I thought, you know what? I believe when I was 5, almost 6, all the grown-ups, like as a conversation started, would be like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And at the time, that question I took very seriously, as well as, what is your favorite color? It's a great question. Well, I would have to say orange. I thought it was a great way to start a conversation, get to know somebody. And my brother, I remember, wanted to be a train conductor, and I wanted to be a writer or something else. I know I vacillated a little bit. West very quickly said that he said he wanted to be an Olympian. Honestly, I think that's just because like the only TV we let them watch this summer was the Olympics, so it's on his mind. But he thinks he's got a pretty good shot. And Mason said, no joke, she said, when I grow up, I want to vote for Donald Trump. No joke. That's what she said. That was literally yesterday. I made her sleep in the chicken coop.
Hi. What was your first day on set like?
My first day on set, that's a great question. Well, when you are guest starring, which I was doing when I came to Supernatural, or maybe I should say when I am guest starring, it's always a little bit of a nerve-wracking experience because you don't know anybody, and on a TV show it's different from working on a movie. When you come onto a movie, nobody really knows each other that well, like the crew has just come together and they've just started working with one another. But on a TV show, especially a show that's been running for, in this case, several years, everybody knows everyone really well, and there's certain dynamics on the set that are very ingrained, and you're kind of like definitely the new kid at school, and it's a little bit nerve-wracking. And my character was set up to be potentially recurring, and so that always is kind of like an audition, like if they like you, basically they're saying, we might keep you around a little bit. And if not, see you later. So, which happens all the time. Like, the character can be sort of tested out, and if it works well, it's given another life. So there's like a little bit of anxiety built around that. And then I had to do this we shot that scene where my character first appears on the first day, where the doors blow open, and they're shooting me, and there's sparks flying down. And it was really trial by fire. They had these hanging lights, these light fixtures, where the bulbs were exploding and sparks were showering down, and they used, special effects for that. But they're really burning embers coming down, and they wet my head first because they're like, it could potentially, burn you a little bit. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right, great. And so I'm like the nervous new guy on set, and we burst through the doors, and and Kim Manners gave me the direction of, just try to be unfazed by anything. So I'm like, right. And I haven't done a lot of scenes where I've been, for example, shot, like maybe a couple in the past, but you're never really inured to the sound of gunshots. They put these things called squibs on you. Do you know what that is? Everybody knows what a squib is? I didn't know what a squib was. So they put this little pack on your body, basically, that actually has explosive, it's like a half of the gunpowder that's in a bullet. So it's a big explosion, and it rips your shirt open, and it makes the sound of a gunshot, and it scares the shit out of you. And so I, come bursting through the door, and I'm supposed to just walk and be casual and look tough or whatever. And these things are showering down, and like whatever embers came down were not going out. And I could hear my scalp sizzling. I was burning like a motherfucker. I'm like, oh. Hold on. Sorry, I have to take this. Hi. How are you? What's that? No, I'm not done with Phil. I'm in the middle of my panel. I should know. That was my spouse. She was in a little like triathlon type thing today, and her team apparently outperformed no other teams, but were nonetheless pretty good. Burning, and then explosions, and I am just like shitting my pants. Like it was just, I don't know how to describe how jarring that experience is. And amazingly, I think that so me walking in, just like trying to stay stone-faced while I'm being incinerated and shot at, and it's just really hard. So it just took every fiber of my being not to be like, oh! And that, amazingly, I think, ended up setting the tone for the character for the next 15 years. It's like this, I haven't really thought about that until now, but really, like that first scene, when we shot that first scene, was establishing the character in a certain way. And and it was really largely just about me just like tensing up my sphincter as much as possible, trying to forge through. So thanks for asking.
So today I was watching the massive line for your photo ops, and people get super excited in that line, like super, super excited. Your fans love you.
No, it's actually Chris that they're excited about. Yeah, this is a little known secret, but everybody's actually doing the photo ops just so they can get close to Chris.
He smells really good.
It smells great. And here's a little trick, ladies. If you want a little extra Chris love, just like have your hair just like in your mouth or something, and he might even come up and brush it out. A lot of people know that trick. Oh, Chris.
So it got me really curious.
Yes.
Have you ever been thrown up on? Or like close to it, like somebody had to kind of run because, it was coming out?
No, but let me very publicly say, please don't take that as an invitation. I have been thrown up on by my children. In fact, one of them threw up in my mouth. Kind of like a reverse baby bird thing. That was Mason. I'm having a wave of unpleasant memories right now. So I'm going to move on. Hi.
I'm just starting my second year of college, and I'm actually
actually skipping some of it to be here right now, so.
Oh, good for you. Supernatural, lowering intellectual standards around the world.
So I was just gonna say, I know a lot of like kids in college and stuff.
Did you call in sick, or are you making up excuses, or?
I just said I'm gonna be gone, so.
I'm gonna be gone.
I didn't say why.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know a lot of kids.
Did you do it like teary-eyed though, like as if to imply maybe there was a death in the family or something? I just can't be here.
I did go to a funeral the week before, so they might think it's connected to that.
I see. Well played. Or maybe that's not funny anymore. You guys just delete that portion from your lives. Great. Thank you. Hi. Sorry.
Okay. I love you. It's okay. So I know a lot of kids in college these days like have a lot of dreams and they want to chase after their dreams. And it seems like if you want to go into acting or music or anything like that, people are really critical about it and cynical. So what would your advice be to somebody who really wants to go into acting?
Well, those critical, cynical people are probably right. But fuck them. When I was in college, which believe it or not, I actually was in college at one point, I had a little bit of a career crisis right at the end of college, where I went to this thing. We had this thing called career and placement, the career and placement offices, and they did a big seminar. And all the kids who were graduating from my college had to go to this big seminar. And they had to dress up nice, and they had to listen to some people telling us how to find a job when we graduated. And that seemed like a wise thing to go to. And they said, and just so you know, this is like very buttoned up, and please go to the bathroom or whatever before you come in, because you cannot leave after we start. And they started talking about how we're going to have to go to these meetings, and we're going to have to, make sure we're clean shaven, and our hair is carefully coiffed, and our clothes are pressed, and we're polite and well-mannered. And I was sitting I was right in the middle. There was all these folding chairs, and the room was packed. And I was like, I do not want to be here, and I never want to go to that interview. And so I just stood up, and I was like, excuse me, sorry, excuse me. And I left, and I knew that, okay, I'm not going to these consulting agency interviews. That's not for me. And I went to the theater department, and I went to the head of the theater department. Now, admittedly, I had not done any plays in the theater department or taken any classes while I was in college, so the guy didn't know me. But I sat down with him, and I said, listen, I'm graduating soon, and I was thinking about, maybe trying out acting as a job. And he said, no. And I was like, no, but you don't understand. I'd like to, maybe get a resume and, figure out how to go for auditions and stuff like that. And he said, absolutely not. I'm like, no, there's no way you would ever get a job as an actor. No one would have any reason to hire you. Go do something else. And so, which was probably, weirdly, good advice. It's really hard to get a job that pays doing what I do for a living, and it is very unlikely that it'll happen. But I think that if there's something that you really care about, that really excites you in life, that you should do it, and not necessarily for that end in mind. Not necessarily because you think that you are going to be famous, or you're going to get to be at some point up on stage with Richard Speight. But you do it just because that thing that you are excited about fills you with joy and life. And if you pursue something with that mentality, something good is bound to come of it. Even if it doesn't mean that you could become a professional actor, maybe it means that you hone a skill set that then parlays into something else that is the right thing for you as a career. But if you pursue the thing that you're passionate about at the moment, I think that it ends up paying off. And if you pursue something with an end goal in mind, I think that it doesn't pay off. If you pursue something because you want to achieve something, I think it'll end up being a hollow enterprise and usually unsuccessful. But I do think that when you pursue the things that you care about, the successes come in unexpected ways a lot of times. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you wind up on a stage with Richard Speight. Although, of course, that is the pinnacle. I'm rambling now, but I'm going to tell a sort of sentimental little story. And I think that it's somehow relevant. Like, it's about being happy with what you're doing in the moment. I was getting into the car with my kids. We were at the playground, which is a really boring thing for a grown-up to do. And I was sitting there like, oh, how many more times can these guys go down the slide? Like, let's go. And I was like, all right, kids, let's go. Cross the street, get into the car, and I just wanted to go be doing something else. And we were getting into the van, and Mason spots this dandelion with a little, like, that's gone to seed with a little puffs on it. She said, Dad, dandelions, we have to pick those. And I was like, oh, all right, I'll be the good dad. I'll go pick some dandelions. So I picked 3 dandelions, one for me, one for Wes, one for Mason, and handed one to each of us. And I was like, all right, kids, you got to make a wish. And I blew on mine, and I was like, very perfunctory, like, you know, I wish for world peace or whatever. And in my head, and Wes said, my wish is for, I wish I had a cheetah, which was a legitimate wish. And then Mason took hers, and Wes said, you have to make a wish. She started to blow, and he was like, no, Mason, you have to make a wish. And she says, I wish for this. And she just blew on it. And it was, like, that always makes me tear up, because it's like, that's it. Like, if you're doing the thing at the moment that you love, everything works out. So, yeah.
I wanted to ask, you probably worked with a ton of these guys, the recurring characters.
Yeah.
What character, not the person, what character was your favorite?
Oh, this is dangerous too. But I have to say, it was season 5, and Scary Demon number 4. And that guy, incredible. Really great. Hi.
Hi, Misha. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Sorry. What kind of Castiel would you like the writers for you like to write for future seasons? How would you like to see Castiel in future seasons?
I don't know. I mean, we played with so many different versions of him. I really liked doing human casts. I really liked. I liked future casts. I liked Lucifer occupying Cass's vessel. I actually don't have a specific one that I'm like coveting or pining for, but I do hope they keep changing it, because that is what I like the most, is getting to switch it up and do something new. This season so far, Cass has kind of gone back to more of like his weak personality, like he's kind of a warrior, fighter, man on a mission, and it's been so long since he's been at full power and in that mentality that it feels refreshing and new, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the next thing is.
Best. Because you give a different variety of Castiel, and that's what makes the character beautiful.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
First year that I did Gish.
You did. This was the first year that you did.
First year I did it.
Okay. Was it what you expected?
Fan-fucking-tastic.
Good.
So I was wondering that if you could have the whole cast of Supernatural do Gish, what would you assign each character as their item?
Oh, I mean, the sadistic things that run through my head. It would not be a joyous experience for them, let's suffice to say. I have enjoyed seeing, we've done a lot of different versions of like candy portraiture of the boys, and I'm brainstorming of like, what new things can we do? Because this year we painted Jensen in miniature. There was Jensen mosaics done in Skittles, thank you. And then we had him painted in miniature on a Skittle this year, and now I'm thinking, like, what else can be done there? Which, believe it or not, there are things that can be done. My favorite, though, thing that we have done in the past with cast members that's an item was, maybe 3 or 4 conventions ago, Mark Shepard came up to me holding something, and he said, "Misha, look at this." And I turned, and I saw, and he was at a distance of maybe 20 feet, and I saw a portrait of him. It was black and white and very, like, well done. Looked good. It was like, wow, that's kind of cool and kind of textured. And as I got closer, I realized that he was painted well, the medium was pet hair. And it was the most disgusting looking thing. I almost, speaking of throwing up, like, it was just nauseating to see. So that was pleasant for me. I don't know, maybe more things in those veins. I'd love to see, Mark Shepard actually creating a portrait of himself, and and watching him possibly shear his own cat in order to do so. Hi.
Hi. After you found out you were going to play Lucifer this past season, did you have to do a lot of rehearsing in your personal time?
A lot of rehearsing where?
In your personal time to prep to be Lucifer?
Yes. When you say personal time, that's just a phrasing that I wasn't expecting. What I did first was I went to, Mark Pellegrino was up in Vancouver shooting, so I went over to his Airbnb house, and the morning that I started shooting that character, and worked with him and his wife Tracy for about an hour on the scenes that I had that day, and they were very helpful. They basically cheated with me, like showed me, and I was like, "So what would you do here, Mark?" And he showed me, and it was very helpful, and he told me things that he thought, sort of like his background subtext that he had running through his head as Lucifer on Supernatural. Things like most of the time when he's looking at somebody, he's either thinking about having sex with them or killing. One of the two. And maybe both at the same time. So, that was helpful to know. Thank you. Hi.
Hi. My name's Danielle, and I'm a dietitian, so I work in the health field, and I also recently signed up for my first half marathon.
Oh my goodness, congratulations.
So I was wondering if you had any advice for people about like health in general or running for beginners?
Advice for health? Yes, I have lots of advice for health. Don't have children. Well, running, I think for me, running gets fun after like a month. Like your first month kind of sucks. It just feels really hard, no matter how short your run is. But after about a month, it seems like you start to get that runner's high. And that runner's high is great because it's like, heroin or something. It's fun. And then once when when is your half marathon? January? Star Wars one at Disneyland? Well, all right. That's cool. I think you have to kind of like eat and drink, and a lot of people don't realize that. Like once you get past about an hour of running, your body starts to be like, I hate you. Why do you do this? I'm going to break on you. So do a little bit of, nutrition supplementing after 45 minutes or an hour, and that'll help. Yeah. And then if there are other people that are faster than you in the marathon, like when they pass you, just kick. What I like to do is kick their heel behind them so it looks like they're tripping on themselves. Try to come in third at least. Hi.
Hi. I have a life motto, and I feel like a lot of people probably do too. What do you think your life motto is, and what would you think that Cass's would be?
I think Cass's is something like, do your best and never give up. I don't know what my life motto is. What's that?
Shouldn't that be the easier one? You've been here your whole life.
What? What is your motto?
In a non-sexual way, it is you do you.
You do you? Okay.
It's kind of like that, fuck all the other people.
Yeah, you do you. Well, sure sounds sexual. You can frame that however you want.
Hence my caveat.
Yes, good call. I don't know what my motto is. I'll work on that. I wish for this is pretty good. Yeah, maybe I should take that. Thank you for helping me with my motto. I just cheated on my motto homework. Thank you. Thanks. Hi.
What's your favorite part about playing Lucifer?
My favorite part about playing Lucifer? There was something about that character that was a little bit more extemporaneous feeling than Cass. Cass is like very controlled, like almost improvisational, impulsive. Like we were shooting a scene, me and Ruth were shooting a scene. That first scene where I was showed up as Cass, as Lucifer in Cass's vessel. It's complicated. And we shot the scene a couple of times, and then I think it was like the third take. It was the scene where I was breaking her neck, Rowena's neck. Do you remember that? Did you see it?
Yeah.
Do you watch Supernatural? And I went in to whisper to her something, the line, which I can't remember right now. And I went in to whisper to her, and I just bit her earlobe in a sexual way, it wasn't. I didn't plan it. It wasn't, scripted certainly, and that sort of thing doesn't happen so much when I'm playing Cass, because Cass doesn't bite people's earlobes, and he's just a little bit more straight-laced. So it was kind of fun, First of all, I've always wanted to bite Ruth's earlobe, but I've never felt like there was an appropriate time for it. But it was fun just having those things, naturally, spontaneously arise and allowing them to happen. And Ruth had a very spontaneous, when I did it, it was also unplanned, but pretty funny. And then we were both like, oops. I think we both walked away from that scene blushing a little bit. But it was good. Hi.
Hello, Overlord. So my girlfriend and I are planning a destination wedding, and I was wondering if you were to have the Gish crew crash a small, intimate event. How would you see that going in your head? And the entire...
How would the Gishwas crew crash an intimate wedding?
Right. If the entire force of the Gishwas came down on a small, intimate event of any time.
What I'm picturing right now, for some reason, is like police in riot gear, like coming down on ropes, just scaring the shit out of everybody. But I don't think that's what you have in mind. We had this amazing wedding planned. It didn't go great. I had made this overture to this weird guy. And anyway, these guys with assault weapons came in and scared the shit out of everybody. It didn't go well. they're playing a kazoo backstage, which to me, I always take as a sign that they want me to keep going for a lot longer. I think that we, right? That's what that means, isn't it?
That came out a lot louder than I thought I was going to.
Not much. We're just talking about crashing a wedding.
Oh, the Gish West people crashing a wedding?
Yes, you were backstage. Yeah.
I heard the Mark Shepard story about my pubic hair portrait.
Oh, you were here for that?
Yeah, I was working.
How much would someone have to pay you for you to shave your own cat?
By cat, do you have a euphemism for
Touche.
$100? We're going to take up a collection here.
It sounds like a really good charitable event.
Yeah. I think people would really go for it. I don't know how to answer that last question, but the question seems to have gone away by itself, mercifully. Yeah.
Yes, that's his theme song. Well, we've only played Mr. Crowley for you. Do whatever you want.
We can combine Crowley and but before you sing me off the stage, no, you don't have to leave. You're welcome to stay. Just try to be quiet.
Never gonna happen.
Goodbye, Dallas.
There you go.
Tonight, Saturday Night Special. This band here goes right there, turns this venue into a rock arena, puts on a show like no other. Come join us. You won't be sorry you did. Meanwhile, get your autographs, get your photographs, get your other graphs done. See you then, everybody.
Thank you for watching. Say hi, Lauren. Bye.